This lesson is on minimum wage in a monopsony labor market. A monopsony labor market is an imperfect labor market in which there is a single or dominant buyer of labor. The dominant employer of labor can influence the wage rate paid to labor. It pays them below what they are worth. What is a minimum wage? It is the lowest wage that can be paid to a worker. It is a way government intervenes in the labor market to protect low-paid workers. The monopsony firm should pay a wage rate where marginal revenue product and marginal factor cost are equal. The wage rate should be W1, and Q1 workers should be employed. But because it is the major employer, it cheats the workers by paying lower wages. It pays wage rate of W2 while still employing the same number of workers, Q1. Minimum wage in monopsony labor market. The introduction of a minimum wage in this market will increase the wage rate and the number of workers employed. The intervention of the government raises the wage rate to WM, which is above W2 that is actually paid by the firm. QM workers will be employed, which is more than the number employed before the introduction of the minimum wage. A minimum wage may not reduce employment level in a monopsony. A higher wage motivates workers and improves their productivity. A rise in productivity is shown by a rise in marginal revenue product, MRP. Because of increasing productivity, businesses will need more workers even though their wage expenses have gone up. In addition, a rise in demand for the underlying product will increase the demand for labor. The employers may not reduce their workforce even if a minimum wage is introduced because it may be difficult to replace workers with special skills. A minimum wage may reduce employment level in a monopsony. Minimum wage raises costs of production and will make businesses to reduce their workforce. Without that, businesses may record losses, which can lead to closure. If labor can be easily substituted with cheap capital, firms will reduce their demand for labor following the introduction of a minimum wage. Some industries are capital intensive because they require more machines in their operations than others. Minimum wage will not lead to an increase in the number of workers employed in a capital-intensive industry. Finally, a fall in the demand for a product, which occurs when a minimum wage is introduced, will cause a reduction in the demand for labor.